Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start the first unit. The title of the first unit is The Portrait of a Lady. It is a kind of short story. It was written by Kushwant Singh, who is one of the Indian English writers. And before entering into the prose, let us see something about the author, that is Kushwant Singh. Alright, good. As I already told you, my dear student, Kushwant Singh is an Indian novelist and lawyer also. He studied at St. Stephen's College, Delhi and King's College, London. He joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1947. As a writer, he is best known for his keen secularism and sarcasm and love for poetry. He served as the editor of several literary news magazines as well as two newspapers. Kushwant Singh was awarded with Padma Bhushan in 1974, Padma Vibhushan by the Government of India and Sahitya Academy Fellowship by Sahitya Academy of India. The Mark of Vishnu, A History of Sikhs, The Train to Pakistan, Success Mantra, We Indians and Death at My Doorstep are some of his brilliant works. Alright, my dear students, I am just giving you the gist of the author. Alright, good. My dear students, before starting this unit, let us have a small brainstorming, or let us have some thoughts about certain things. For example, what do you mean by family? You know what a family is. What is your idea about a family? And what comes into your mind when I utter a word affection? Affection. And what do you mean by a bond? A relationship. What do you mean by relationship? You have father, you have mother, you have your brothers, you have your sister. What do you mean by a relationship in a family? And here in this unit, author discuss a lot of things. For example, he discusses what a family, how a family should be, all those things. And he compares the village life with the city life. He raises a lot of questions about moral values in the modern education. He brings out the educational differences. Alright, he here and there he makes us think a lot about our own life even. Let us see this lesson. Come on, students, let us get into the passage. Listen carefully. Here is a story that brings out the bond between the author and his loving grandmother. Shall we start reading? Good. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. He looked as if he could only have loads and loads of grandchildren. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. My dear student, the first sentence of the first paragraph, my grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. It shows that it's a kind of narration. So the narrator is the grandchild. The grandchild is narrating about his life in the village and his life in the city. Alright, and he wants to tell us how the life in the village and how the life was changed or is changed when it is shifted to city life. Alright, that is the gist of the whole prose. The vocabulary, as you know, if the underlined vocabulary is there, wrinkle meaning the shrink of the face. You know, when people become old, the face is shrinked. Alright, the shrink of the face is called wrinkled. Portrait, as you know, it's a kind of picture that is hung on the wall. And turban, it is an Indian word, as you know. People tie the towel around the head, it is called turban. Mantelpiece, it is a kind of shelf. Absurd, it's very confusing. And revolting, it is unbelievable. Fables, as you know, it's a stories of animals or imagery. Prophets, they call it people of God are called prophets. Alright, my dear students, so the grandchild is narrating the story to the readers. First, he introduces about the grandmother and grandfather. The first paragraph is all about the grandmother and grandfather. Alright, good. My dear students, in this paragraph, the picturesque description about the grandmother of the narrator is explained. Let us see. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known. Old so terribly, old that she could not have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. In this paragraph, the author tries for an exact description of the old lady or the grandmother of the narrator's face. Alright, her movement is described in a black and white manner. Her peaceful face is explained, and it is explained how joyful, how relaxed she is in the village. In general, we can also take this way that people of old age in the village are happier. Maybe here also it is mentioned she continuously prays. So maybe her prayer may be the reason why she is always happy, serene and content. All those things are explained in this paragraph. The new vocabulary, if you see in this paragraph, is crisscross. That is to go front and back. You know, the wrinkle of the old lady, the line goes and comes back. So wrinkle, crisscross. And hobbled, hobbled meaning unsteady walk. You know, the old people cannot walk straight as normal as we walk. So the unsteady walk is called hobbled. Stoop, the old people, you know, they bend their back, and the bend of the back or bend of the body is called stoop here. Puckered, again the same meaning, to become wrinkled. Inaudible, audible, it's something hearable. Inaudible, not audible. Unheard or not heard. Serene, peace looking, peace mind. Contentment, satisfied. So I have given you the new vocabulary, I have given you the notes of it, and I have read the paragraph in a right manner. Alright, my dear students, good. My dear students, shall we go to the next paragraph? The explanation of this paragraph will be given in the next video. Alright, good. My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. Underline the word constantly together. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer, underline the word, she said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed me and dressed me, in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. I listened because I loved her voice but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot and a red pen, tie them in all in a bundle and hand it to me. After a breakfast of a thick stale chapati with a little butter and a sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis. Underline the word, the village dogs. Good. The explanation of this paragraph will be continued in the next video. So again, read this paragraph, underline the new vocabulary. I will give you the meaning of it. I will explain it in the next video. Alright, good. Thank you, my dear students.